So now we're turning to another national success story, as I anticipated, and I couldn't wait in the beginning to invite our leaders from DGA, Digital Government Authority, which has an amazing mission achieving the Saudi Vision 2030. The session is co-led by Mr. Osama Madkhali and Mrs. Asma Alghamdi. Osama is a senior national enterprise architect expert at DGA with such a deep experience in enterprise architecture, national EA, emerging technologies, and digital transformation. Mrs. Asma is as well a national enterprise architect at DGA. Asma played a key role in designing the national overall reference model, NORA 2.0, the one you've heard about from Gosi's session in the morning. She advises as well government entities on advancing enterprise architecture maturity and accelerating digital transformation. So together, Asma and Osama, they will walk us through the kingdom visionary path, again, in achieving the ambitious targets of the National Saudi Vision 2030 with a focus on enabling the enterprise architecture via NORA 2.0 and the adoption of national EA methodologies. So we're going to take a closer look as well at the Saudi enterprise architecture model, SIAM. Without any further ado, let's give them a warm welcome on the stage.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Thanks to Open Group for giving us this great opportunity to demonstrate about our topic leveraging the National EA framework, NORA 2.0, to enable digital transformation in government entities. As mentioned, we will highlight an overview of National EA strategic direction and the framework NORA 2.0. Also, an overview of national enterprise architecture methodology. And finally, introduction of Saudi EA maturity model. DGA, Digital Government Authority, recognized that EA will play a great role in digital transformation, or enabling, accelerating the digital transformation. Therefore, enterprise architecture is a main component in digital government regularity framework. DGA plays as a national reference for implementing enterprise architecture practice in government entities, providing a framework, methodologies, and its guideline to accelerate the digital transformation and to have a unified national vision, putting the citizen first. We have 5 enterprise architecture, national enterprise architecture objectives. The first one is managing the national enterprise architecture framework, that we make sure that there is a continuous update reflecting enterprise architecture in government agency needs, and also accepting the new trends that is in the market. The second is raising the level of maturity of enterprise architecture practice in government entities by providing a framework, a methodology, a guidelines, and also to assist the maturity in these government entities. Third is maximizing the benefit of adopting enterprise architecture practice, and we focus on that the scope of enterprise architecture cover the whole government entities, not a specific or technical part. Fourth is participating in qualification and development of human capital in the area of enterprise architecture by providing different level of training for the top management, like GMs, to make sure that the understanding and the awareness of AA is there, and also for the leaders of the AA offices in the government entities to make sure that the governance aspect is there. And also the last one is a specific and deep training for the AA office member who is covering the domains of the AA. As a strategic direction, we have 4 strategic directions. The first one is to be agile and unique approach in developing enterprise architecture component. Make sure that the framework and the methodology and guidelines suit all different type of government entities and their needs. The second, expand interaction model with government entities to include forum and knowledge community, and also include the top government entities or variety of government entities member as a focus group when we are developing our framework and the methodology, making sure that we are addressing the challenges that come or happen in government entities. Third is considering the impact-based scale to determine a maturity level. As Mr. Rashid said, we focus on the outcome and in the impact more than the activities and the operation. Last one is a new aspect, because now in the government, the maturity of the strategy of government entities is high. Now they are focusing in sector strategy. So we, as a proactive, we include the sectoral enterprise architecture office to accelerate the adoption of enterprise architecture from parent entity with its child, like Ministry of Health and all the entities included underneath the health sector. The National AA Framework 2.0 works as a North Star for implementing enterprise architecture practice in government agency, providing and trying to accelerate the digital transformation within the government entity and increase the maturity of it. DGA has developed the National AA Framework to address the whole journey of enterprise architecture, from establishment, development, and operation, and make sure it is dynamic and adaptable guide to government entities and national companies' needs. Also, the national framework is derived from national regularity framework that we are making sure that we are aligned with national direction in our principle and standard. So when the AA practice in government agency, they are in touch very strong with this national or complying with this national direction. There are 3 aspects in this national framework. The first one is the AA practice. As we can see here, we are considering the whole journey of the AA practice in government entities from establishment, development, and operation, and we are providing a specific guideline for each phase of this implementation. For example, in the establishment, we are providing the Establishing Enterprise Architecture Office guideline, which help the government agency to start from the beginning with a huge guideline that it clarifies the roadmap that they need to be addressed. And also in development phase, we have the national AA methodology, the national reference model, as we mentioned, Mr. Rashid, we need to focus on, and also national AA meta model guideline. Also, the third aspect, the second aspect is sectoral AA. So as a beginning, we need to, all the government agencies who are parents, like Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, they need to have their maturity as an AA office, then they expand their mandate to be a sectoral AA office. And we are providing guidelines for them. The third aspect is the assessment, which is a huge mandate in national AA. We are assessing the maturity level of the enterprise architecture, and we are providing guidelines for the government agency to understand the level, the requirement for each level, so there is transparent and they understand and they can assess their maturity even before the requesting the assessment. These three aspects are framed by national AA framework governance to make sure that there is a regular update of it. There is three success dimensions of AA government entities, of the AA or implementing the AA. We are assuring that from the national AA framework. First dimension is strategy alignment, which a huge dimension that we need to focus on, which is align the business and technology strategy toward the government entity strategy. We need to have a real linkage between business strategy, digital strategy, and also AA strategy with clear KPIs that we can measure the value or the impact of the AA in this strategy. Also, as mentioned Mr. Ahmed, of the e-tool data, as Aramco here, is an oil. We can sell the oil itself or make a product of it and maximize the benefit. And here, where the impact analysis and taking decision, it can be generated and utilize this information by providing a report and dashboard also for top management to guide them in taking decision, or if there is a new strategic direction, we can provide what are the impact. The second dimension is digital transformation, and EA must play a great role on it. First, participating in digital roadmap, making sure the coverage will consider the business strategy and digital, and also applying the standards and principle, considering the national direction on it. So when we are doing the compliance, we are making sure that we are covering the SADAYA direction, NCA, and Digital Government Authority one. The last success dimension is the efficient spending from governance perspective in approving the project of digital transformation or the new ad hoc. We should be aligned. Is it a strategic? It is aligned to our objective or no? This is for the new things that we can make sure of it. And also increasing the utilization of the digital landscape, the current digital landscape, and eliminating the redundancy. These three dimensions are mandatory in assessing the digital maturity level of the AA in government entities. And this is at government entity level. When we see the national one, we can see the digital transformation measurement index in 2024, we reached to 87%. The top 20 in this measurement, the best top 20, 16 out of this top 20, they already have an A practice, and they already certified in national AA certification. Not only that, but also the best top 5, which GOSI, one of them, and congrats for them, are also they have a digital ANA practice, and also they are certified in national AA. This shows a positive relationship between the digital transformation level of the government entities and also the presence of certified enterprise architecture practice. Thank you so much. This is an overview, and I will lead Asma to continue the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Asma Alghamdi, and I work as a senior enterprise architect at Digital Government Authority. And I'm honored today to share with you an overview about the detailed steps of the National Enterprise Architecture methodology. The methodology, as mentioned by my colleague, was developed to help the government entities driving their digital transformations initiatives, as well as helping the national campaigns within the kingdom, injecting the national directions within their enterprise. So. As we all know, EA is a very big concept, and taking this concept into a practical way will require a specific methodology. So this methodology will, yes, help government entities drive the organization effort into structured and well-phased stages. And we're going to talk about the key goals of having the enterprise architecture methodology, which is ensure consistency in enterprise architecture practices, developing a clear approach to identify and advancing enterprise architecture, supporting the development of the roadmap, ensuring the alignment between business and technology, and providing national reference model to standardize the component within government entities. We'll move to a blueprint that illustrates the components of the methodology. We're going to have 4 pillars: EA principles, EA governance, and national reference models, and the content meta model. Those pillars needs to be set and well prepared before running the first cycle of the methodology. And we'll also have 7 stages of the methodology, and we'll have a look into each and every step. For now, I want to give a bit more insight about the 4 pillars. First pillar is EA principles. We inject as a DGA whole national directions. For example, we do have 3 top regulators within the kingdom: National Data Management Office, and NCA, National Cybersecurity Commission, and as well as Digital Government Authority. Those regulators have set some set of the principles. For example, by building any new application, we'll have to have deciding on the fit for purpose. Is it fit for purpose? Secure by design? Is it as well will really achieve a strategic direction, or we're going to fund something that we're going to not come back with any benefit for the enterprise? And in order for the enterprise to be survive and thrive, they're going first to really build these pillars and then start aligning the strategy with digital transformation strategy and start running the first cycle. The cycle, as a storyline in brief, will start defining the scope of the cycle, the width, the breadth, the component, the viewpoints that are going to be involved within the cycle. And then we're going to study the current state, diagnosis whatever weaknesses in there, and deciding on the start setting the strategic and future trends and design. This will help preparing for the next step for the future priorities examination. We're going to examine whatever trends is there. We're going to benchmarking the technologies and the entities all over the world, the way they are doing their work. And then we'll come up with the future and expected design. Okay, this stage will prepare us to decide on the future state. For the future state, we'll get into this stage while we have a very clear idea where we're going to move, and then we'll after deciding on the 2B architecture, we'll start we'll start listing down all gaps, and those gaps has to be classified by the domains, and the domains that we are considered and covered within our methodology is a BDAT, Business Data Application Technology, along with customer experience and cyber security layers. Last stage is developing the actual roadmap that have a list of initiatives and projects scheduled and prioritized, and having a clear transition plan that really will help us move from the current state to the future state. And the heart of the methodology, which is EA requirements management. This is an ongoing process that will help listing down the requirement. Either comes from the result of the analysis of the strategies, alignment between strategies, the trends in technology, emerging technology, and as well as customer or stakeholders walk in, come to us as an office, ask for some requirements. All of those will be recorded into a requirements catalog, and it has to be live document. Every requirement has to be tracked, followed, and whatever project or initiative within the roadmap will be completed, the requirement has to be closed and up to date. This is a brief about the stages, and we'll go now into sub steps for each and every stages. As we mentioned here, 4 pillars. One of the pillars that I didn't mention, sorry, the EA governance. For the EA governance model has to be well designed. A committee has to be laid out, and the committee has to have a full authority to operate the expected work, and as well as a clustering of the processes and procedures that will help really govern and oversee the work within the enterprise. Moving on to the phases. First, define EA development scope, which will go on studying and assessing the scope, framing the scope, and approving the scope before start running the cycle from the committee, just to ensure having a mutual agreement between all stakeholders, making sure that we engage the expected stakeholder within the cycle, and securing the budget needed to run this cycle. For current state diagnosis, it will go over defining the approved scope domains, start collecting the data, and then document current enterprise architecture components and viewpoint, and analyzing them, and provide some recommendations that will help shaping the future of the 2B. For the future priorities examination, it will go over reviewing the result of the current state, studying the similar practices and experience, and here we're expecting to have a deep benchmarking and international review with other practices. Last, identifying future design directions. For example, one of the directions that we're going to adopt is cloud. We'll go cloud. No on-premises projects will be approved. One of those as well is to adopt omni-channel. No surfaces, no middle surfaces will be designed without getting back to the one that is responsible for govern those kinds of structure, because we're going to have a surface that can run on different channels without any interruption, and it would help give a smooth customer experience. Fourth, future state will be ready to be shaped. Initial vision of the future enterprise architecture component is ready, and detailing the components and the viewpoints for each components within each domain. Fifth is EA gaps will analyze and identify enterprise architecture gaps, proposing whatever solutions can be used to fulfill these gaps, and moving us from the future state to the current state to the future state. Then here we'll be having a proposed and full roadmap, a clear idea where we are going to head, list of projects and initiatives, schedules and govern, plus compliant with our standards and principles. Last, approval. For each requirements get closed, it has to be approved, and then monitoring the status of overall execution of those requirements, and as well checking and generating the report to indicate the execution of overall progress of digital transformation roadmap. As well, retrospectively, we'll have to assess the impact of the whole cycle, and whether we're going to run another cycle, a full iteration, subset of those iterations has to be run, will be decided on the 7th stage. Okay. Mentioned by my colleague as well, DGA acts as a regulator that will produce the guidelines, the components of the framework, as well as a model that's helped by DGA to evaluate and assess the practice within the government entity. Here is the part of the national Saudi maturity model. Okay, it consists of 5 levels, and we'll talk in details about each level on the upcoming slides. On these slides, we are trying to show how we were studied the EA as a practice, and what was the decision on a way to evaluate this practice within the government entity. We've come up with 4 axes. First axis is on establishing an enterprise architecture practice. We're going to check whether the government entity having a department or a separate office to run the EA practice, and we'll check out the mandate, the process and procedures, and roles and responsibilities, and as well as how many capabilities till now are allocated and fully allocated to work within this office. And the service catalog for the EA office. We're expecting the EA office to provide sets of services, minimum services to be given to other stakeholder, which is implementing the governance model, studying and reviewing the RFPs to make sure that those RFPs are aligned with our strategic alignment, and within the business strategy itself, we're going to achieve and help contributing on achieving the strategic goals. And then second axis is building the meta model and the viewpoints. We're going to check out what is the coverage of the enterprise, how many domains are there, is it a BDAT, do they have more than 4 domains. Within each domain, how many components will be captured and updated, and then the linkage between those components and a way to generate the viewpoints, deciding on the depth of the viewpoints, logical, physical, conceptual, as well as deciding on the type of the artifact. Does it going to be a matrix or a chart? And then we'll check as well, third one, which is their methodology to run the ADM cycle, the development methodology. Okay, what is the methodology? what are the principles that are adopted within the EA office, and what is there as is to be a roadmap for their last, as a result of the last cycle. We are going to check it, and as well the progress of the roadmap. Fourth axis is checking the solidity of the governance model, and whether there is a committee or not. Is there a reports got generated? Is there a value are being realized and shared with the top management? Those are going to be evaluated, and the weight of each axis will help us deciding the level of the maturity of the enterprise architect. For level 1, the enterprise just started building the fundamental components. Level 2, starting to build the operating model, meta model, and the linkage between the meta model, the initial viewpoints, and as well as operating in an ad hoc manner. This will let us make the practice fall under level 2. Level 3, if the practice is being operated and in a systemic manner, the maturity level will indicate that it is under level 3. Level 4, starting to realize the impact of EA. And level 5, continuous improvements and sustainable and excellence in doing the practice. Those are the 5 levels that we have here. Finally, some general statistics for the government entities. Until up now, we do have 58 government entities obtained the accreditation. 6 entities fall under level 4. 51 fall under level 3, and 1 entity has been evaluated to be under level 2. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Any questions?